So to come to our conclusion of this course, Business Ethics, topic 12, it's about the moral corporation, reflections and the challenges. At the end of this topic, students should be able to reflect on moral corporation's challenges, appreciate a caring organization, develop ethical leadership in individual lives. By now, it is understood that business ethics is not contradicting but complementing, and to be ethical, no extra efforts are required. Instead, it can become habit forming. Individuals make up groups like employees, colleagues, friends, neighbors, investors, and finally the society. Individual ethics become corporate ethics. When applied in practice, the world will become a better place. When caring organizations are present, it gives scope for lesser evils in society. An employee who works in a caring organization will make a better human and spread the good message around. When an organization shows concern to a sick employee, not only the employee but his whole family will be indebted, and the organization will gain the loyalty of the concerned employee. So it is a vicious cycle where one good leads to another. The moral corporation, its reflections and challenges. Ethics and moral values are no longer personal issues. They are organizational issues as well. When ethical conducts are encouraged, they influence the character of an organization and its employees. It results in uplifting or at least neutralizing the employees who have questionable rights and integrity, at the same time bringing down the good behavior of employees who work in unethical organizations. The fact that global managers are now exchanging ideas about value programs is due to the awareness process accelerated by global communications that make business scandal in one country headline news in another. The current position is that legally imposed mandatory system of fines and rigorous probation conditions for organizations convicted for federal crimes acts as carrot and stick policy to company executives, and there is the spotlight of the financial press, activist shareholders, the regulatory and the public shining on corporate misdeeds. Many industry groups have decided to take the lead in designing programs of ethical behavior, believing that a model drafted by industry would be preferable to government regulation. The elements that will turn values into actions are self-assessment, that is, to conduct an in-depth self-examination to determine the procedure that are needed to address organizational risks and concerns. Commitment from top. Ethics and values should begin from the most senior level of management who make an explicit commitment to long-run success. Codes of business conduct. A blueprint for building a moral culture within a corporation must be clear about objectives that the code is intended to accomplish. Try to get support and ideas from the code from all levels of organization. Be aware of the latest developments in the laws and regulations affecting the industry and write as simply and clearly as possible, avoiding legal jargon. Communication vehicles. The values program is worth little if it is not communicated well, in various forms, as often as possible, by booklets, telephone cards, etc. Training. Ethics training seminars are required. Resources for assistance. Companies with extensive resources for assistance, from telephone lines to websites to ethics office and email, make it easy for their employees to make ethical choices according to the company's values. Organizational ownership. No ethics officer is an island, and no program to put values into action will be successful without the full involvement of managers across the organization. Multinational departmental committees have become effective supporting structure to any ethics initiative. Consistent response and enforcement. Ensuring consistent enforcement and response to ethical issues is to be done with coordination with human resource personnel or as ethics coordinating committee. Audits and measurement. Auditing and measurement ensures the working of the communication vehicle and the performance compliance of the employees. Revisions and refinements. Whenever circumstances and situations change, the management should re-evaluate the goals and concepts of even the best value program. We will not know that we have reached the ethical standards fixed because it is a never-ending process. The clues that we may have reached closer to our destination are that employees will be motivated and the ethical behavior definitely pays. What are caring organizations? These organizations focus on employees not with the pursuit of profits, but on caring of individuals who make up the organization and those with whom the organization interacts. Employers too may grow close to their employees, deepening their relationship with employees and coming to seek ways of caring for the particular needs of these particular individuals and of developing the full potential. Business organizations in which such caring relationships flourish will exhibit better economic performance than the organization that restricts itself to the contractual and power relationship of the rational and political organization. In the caring organization, trust flourishes because one needs to be trusting if one sees oneself as interdependent and connected. Thus, caring lowers the cost of running an organization and reduces the cost of disciplinary actions, thefts, absenteeisms, poor morale, and motivation. It has also been argued that business organizations in which caring flourishes, it develops a concern for serving the customer and creating customer value that in turn enables such organizations to achieve a competitive advantage over other organizations. Organizations can and should be thought of as networks of relationships focusing on employees' well-being, focused entirely on persons, not quality, profits, or any of the other kinds of ideas that much of today's care talk seems to revolve around. Undertake as an end in and of itself, not merely a means towards achieving quality, profits, etc. Essentially personal, in that it ultimately involves particular individuals engrossed at a subjective level in caring for other particular individuals. There are moral problems of caring too much because ethics of care requires achievement of a mature balance between caring for the needs of others and caring for one's own needs, and the needs of those for whom we care can demand a response that conflicts with what we feel we owe others. At the same time, the moral problems of not caring enough can be on personal levels due to fatigue, self-interest, or simple disinterest for not showing the care with colleagues or customers. An organizational level indiscriminates layoffs, use of employees as disposable costs, or use of reward system that discourage caring and reward competitiveness. Organizational life touches upon many of the most problematic characteristics of business organizations. The alienation experienced by workers doing repetitive work, the feelings of oppression created by the exercise of authority, the responsibilities heaped on the shoulders of managers, the power tactics employed by managers anxious to advance their career ambitions, and the pressures felt by subordinates and superiors as they both try to get their jobs done. There should be an expansive list of other inherent problems within the business organization too. Therefore, to manage such problems, maintaining ethical values and social responsibility is a difficult proposition. With commitment from top management, good work environment, acceptable code of principles, dedicated employees, loyal customers, supportive government, availability of resources, and many such factors contribute towards good corporate governance, viable economic activities. In conclusion, the ethical leadership in individuals. A whistleblower is an individual employee who surfaces because of his own high ethical values. He blows the whistle at a stage when he cannot tolerate any more of an unethical, immoral, illegal activity of an organization he is working for. Since his moral values are in conflict, he is forced to take the step against his own employer. This is actually a dilemma, to be or not to be a loyal employee. The after effects of a whistleblower is that he loses his job, may not get any more jobs, financial crunch, personal life failure, stress and health issues, loss of life, etc. In spite of all this, he goes ahead to blow the whistle. It shows ethical leadership. Thus, to be ethical is a personal choice, and when preferred, may have negative impact. If avoided, can be beneficial, and if still considered, there is ethical leadership. Normally, ethical analysis gives rise to ethical awareness, and this will lead to ethical action and finally result in ethical leadership. So this will be the conclusion of the course. Thank you, one and all.